everybody? Welcome into another edition of Talkin Grizz. This is our off-season edition where we're going to talk to media around the league about the drafts, future prospects, and their markets team. So joining me now from Atlanta is Chris Kirschner. He writes for The Athletic Atlanta and The Athletic MBA. Thank you for being here with me today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Okay, let's dive right in because we have very similar teams in Memphis and Atlanta, I think, very young. And I mean, you guys got the number 6 draft pick. So I know it's probably not where, Hawks fans want it to be, but number 6 is not horrible. Your president of basketball operations, or for the Atlanta Hawks, kind of came out and said, we're going to be looking for the best available, not necessarily a perfect fit. But what does that mean for the Atlanta Hawks?
Yeah, well, Travis Schlenk, the Hawks general manager, has said this for the 3 years that he's been with the Hawks. I think what he means is that they obviously have a point guard, an ascending star point guard in Trae Young, so they don't necessarily need another ball dominant point guard. Say if like LaMelo Ball fell to 6, which I don't think is going to happen, but if that did happen, I don't know if like he'd be the pick. So I think for the Hawks, I think best available means what is the best available player who actually fits with the core that this group already has. So like I said, they already have a young point guard in Trae Young. What else do they need? I think they need a couple of wing players. They have, Cam Reddish, DeAndre Hunter, who were rookies this past season, Kevin Huerter going into his 3rd year, like Trae Young, John Collins, a really, really good young power forward. So I think what the Hawks really need right now, they need someone who can fit alongside Trae Young because he is the core of this team. So if they can get someone who can fit nicely with him, I think it'd be a successful draft at number 6.
So that was going to be my next question. Do you, in your opinion, think, what would immediately help this team? Would it be a big man, a backup point guard, a wing defender? Or, because you've already kind of said what you think, is there any names that you see in those draft boards that you're like, yeah, that would be great if he fell to number 6?
Well, I don't think they necessarily need a big man. So say if like James Wiseman from Memphis, fell to 6. I don't know if he's going to be available at number 6. I think Charlotte makes a lot of sense for him at number 3, or even the Warriors at number 2. But I think if they could get someone who can play a little on the ball and defend like all hell, because they need some defenders. They gave up nearly 120 points per game this past season. That's not going to get it done. So if they can get someone like Tyrese Halliburton, a guard from Iowa State, I think he makes a lot of sense for the Hawks. He can play with the ball in his hands, can play off of it, defends really well. He's a really good shooter, shot over 40% from 3 at Iowa State. The Hawks were also they were the worst 3-point shooting team in the league, so they can get another shooter in Tyrese Halliburton. I think Auburn's Isaac Okoro also makes a lot of sense for the Hawks, arguably the best defender in this draft. And again, they need more defensive talent. And also, I think Florida State's Devin Vassell makes sense too. Another wing, good defender, arguably the best team defender in the draft. And he also shot over 40% from 3. So those are probably the 3 guys that I would probably target if I was Travis Schlenk at number 6. And, if they could, I know the Hawks are looking to take a next step forward this upcoming season and make the playoffs. If they could trade out of the draft entirely and get a young player in return, I think that's likely the option they would. That's likely the option that they would try to do. But again, who knows what's going to happen.
Is there a name that pops
up? For a trade?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it's always hard to tell like who's going to be available in trade. So if they decide to trade number 6, could they trade for a 3-way deal with the Pacers and try to get Victor Oladipo from Indiana? My athletic colleague Jared Weiss actually reported a few days ago that Oladipo might be looking to get out of Indiana. I think he would make a lot of sense, especially if he's healthy. Maybe they get a 3-way deal with the Warriors, so the Pacers can move up to number 2. The Hawks absorb Victor Oladipo for this season and try to re-sign him in 2021. But he's probably a name that I would target if I was, again, Schlenk in this position.
So there's some exciting options there for the Hawks, which obviously will all come in a little over a month. So Chris, thank you so much for your time today. That was so insightful, and like literally cannot wait until this draft to happen and we get some new news on the teams and what is going on. Where can we find your work, both the Athletic Atlanta and NBA?
Yeah, so if you're not a subscriber to the Athletic, highly recommend it. We cover all 30 teams, not even just the NBA, but if you're a sports fan in general, we cover pretty much every single sports league in this country. And if you're a soccer fan, we also cover the Premier League pretty extensively. So definitely recommend.
Shout out to the Athletic.
Yes, subscribe to the Athletic.
All right, thank you so much. Hope you have a great day.
Thanks a lot. You too.
All right, and for all you Grizzlies fans, you can get more coverage on grindcitymedia.com.